この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I am glad to be back for ReZero episode 14 and maybe more, we'll see. I spent the last 2 days effectively incapacitated by terrible allergies that had me laid out because if I sat up, my nose would just go bleh, which was terrible, but it seems to have be over. The air quality has gone up quite a bit and the pollen count has gone down quite a bit, so I can breathe and talk and sit upright without bleh, which is great. So, I return to you for ReZero episode 14, and we re-enter this world at a dark point. I'm sure it can get worse, but boy oh boy, last week's episodes were filled with secondhand embarrassment, and watching the comments roll in has just confirmed that. Subaru made some mistakes in the last episode. Big ones and little ones. Foolish things, and also kind of big things, kind of interpersonal trust wiping away sorts of things. Kind of fucked up a lot. And on multiple fronts, like the external social, the internal social, and the direct personal, like, most important relationships. In many ways, Subaru's desperate attempts to fix things and make everything right, and in some ways control the outcomes of everything in his life, led him to pushing away the people closest to him, denying them, lying to them, not following their deep and heartfelt requests or commands, and then going so far as to say those last lines he levered at Amelia, "You should have a debt to me." Just a whole wrapped up shit show where a character makes a bunch of mistakes, tries to justify them, tries to hold true to his deeply held belief that he is the central character and main character and protagonist in this world, which is really, I think, the core of the problem. And he fucked it. He fucked it real bad. And he almost fucked it for people in very important circumstances. This is rough. Where do we go from here? We can't kill Subaru, I think. I'm like dead on certain he has to learn from this, and he has to, in this loop, overcome it, I think. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. That would be cool. But I really want to see him struggle with this situation, and at least come to terms and like some level of understanding of what has happened. So I hope he can get some distance from it. I hope that he's able, having been kicked out of this situation, to explore and discover more about the world and turn this energy into something useful. But I don't know what he's going to be able to do. As the comments have flowed in, there has been some pushback on one thing that I said, and that thing is, I think, the use of the word narcissism to describe Subaru. As we ended the episode, and I came to this idea, I was like, whoa, oh shit, Subaru has been acting like a definitional narcissist throughout this journey. And I'm going to stick to my guns on this one. I think he is. I think his entire perspective is deeply self-centered and very much focused on what he has control over and expanding that. It's part of why he launches himself into all these situations where he's not really welcome, because he views it as, well, in many ways, still a video game, still something where he's the core character and needs to make some kind of action in order to progress the story. Thinking about it that way, it makes perfect sense to me why he jumps forward in the big throne room situation. He has to act, right? He's the protagonist character. He has to make moves. Otherwise, things won't go his way. It's rough. There is one comment that I definitely want to read, and it came from Flare31 this morning, and when I read it on my phone this morning, I thought, damn, that perfectly puts in words what I was feeling, and so I'm going to read it through. Flare31 writes, I never really thought of it this way until now, but it seems to me that Subaru is experiencing main character syndrome or something in that vein. Thinking back on it, in episode 1, one of the first things Subaru thinks when he becomes aware that he's in a new world is that he is living out an anime or a game. He's constantly wondering if whatever is happening is an event for him to unveil some new cool ability or similar tropey things. It's played for laughs, and Subaru tones it down relatively quickly, but it seems that we're leaning into it as an underlying character flaw, and it manifests in the really silly things Subaru does sometimes, what you describe as the things he does that other characters usually ignore. Part of it, I think, is that Subaru's ability, Return by Death, is very fictional, very video gamey. It's like reloading a save point, so it contextualizes events for Subaru as puzzles to solve or routes to find. The characters within the mansion specifically also tend to act in a fictional manner, though it's quite surface level, especially evident with Rem's hard switch to Love-Struck Puppy. Yeah, that tsundere was fast once we broke through, and it really does. It hits that mark of feeling like a video game quest that you've cleared the first checkboxes of, right? But that's the point. It's not. She's actually a real person, and so is everyone else in this world. So Subaru might start to believe or feel those things, but they're not true. For Subaru, I'm sure this reinforces the syndrome. After all, he saves the day with the village, and thus he is rewarded with the undying devotion of the cute maid character. It's a false correlation, but one Subaru could easily make, especially since I don't see how Subaru could possibly know how impactful his words were to Rem when he said the lines that really spoke to her. The only character who doesn't act overtly in this fictional manner in the mansion is Amelia. She is established as a real person with very real problems from the first episode, and she carries that with her throughout. On one hand, Subaru is very much doing things selfishly out of love for Amelia, becoming jealous, wanting to go on a date with her, wanting to be involved in her life, all very realistic things, but Subaru is also clearly frustrated that Amelia isn't reacting to him like he expects her to. I.e., the version of me that lives within you must be amazing. Subaru seems genuinely shocked that Amelia is upset that he didn't listen to her. It's like Subaru thinks the situation is akin to playing a game like Fallout 3, where he can kill people in a town, loot them, leave and wait a few days, and then come back with the whole town treating him like he never killed anyone because he has good karma. Like, Subaru embarrasses Amelia and completely disregards her wishes and expects, what? That she would be thankful that he was there for her? That she would see his attempt to be helpful and appreciate it? It's a thought process that most real people don't usually have when dealing with other real people, only when dealing with fictional characters in the game. That she would see his attempt to be helpful and appreciate it really hits me in my teen years area of my brain, because the thought doesn't count. Let's put it that way. Intention is what matters is bullshit, is garbage. Subaru's intentions are great, but his actions are terrible, and they fuck everything up, and the results of them are bad. And the results are as bad as they would be if he were intentionally trying to cause harm. Is it in Amelia's court? Is it like her duty to see through his actions to the deep-seated intent that he had, which was like, oh, he was really actually trying to help? No, sorry, not in the world, y'all. Which sucks. It sucks, and it sucks for the teenage part of my brain who's like, oh man, I did a nice thing, and then I got broken up with. What the fuck? Because you don't get it, man. You gotta expand your brain to actually consider and think about the living beings around you as though they're people, not parts of your story. And that's what I mean, man. Everything Subaru does reflects on him and is meant to. It's meant to. Even every bit of his most selfless shit, his I will save you, etc., really can be recolored as I will be the hero. And I think it is. I really do. I think it is. I've come around on a lot of things on Subaru. On a lot of things. He's more competent than I gave him credit for. He's many more things than I gave him credit for. But man, he still sees himself as the center of the world, despite everything. Though I did find, back to Flare 31's comment, though I did find it interesting that the wise council guy thought Subaru was a fine attendant. It could be innocuous, but I wonder if perhaps Subaru's actions are viewed through Amelia's lens for us as a viewer, and thus it comes across as much more embarrassing than it truly was to the impartial observer. After all, up until this point, Subaru has been framed and shown in more of a heroic light than these last couple episodes, as Subaru would presumably see himself. I don't know about seeing things through Amelia's lens. I do think that we're seeing a more third party or objective perspective on the actual actions, which gives us that separation when we actually get to what Subaru says he's feeling, and it's like, oh no, that's not it, man. That is not what we just observed. I thought that the wise council guy thinking Subaru was a fine attendant was because of his gung-ho-ness. The willingness to step up and say something, even if it's stupid, still demonstrates some degree of loyalty and fervor. And I think that's probably what he meant. But if somebody else has another idea, I'd take it. It's a very meta way to write a character if true, and regardless if it is or not, it's an interesting concept to thought experiment. I've always wondered how a normal person would react if they actually got isekai'd. Realistically, you should treat it like moving to a different country, where you should try to learn their culture and adapt. After all, you could very easily be killed or imprisoned for saying the wrong thing or behaving incorrectly. But I imagine, especially if the world you end up has fictional elements to it like magic, that would make someone more prone to main character syndrome than normal. It could also just be simply that Subaru's narcissistic, failing to understand how others feel before he acts, as you point out. It would be a curious thing to see how differently he acts in his real life. If he was simply narcissistic, I would expect him to act the same in his real life. I think he would. I think standing there, looking at other people in their relationships and going, grrr, is a directly narcissistic personality disorder type of thing to do. Isn't it? I think he would act that way. I'm going to read a couple excerpts from Kiki is Best Girl's comment, because it's great, but it's too long. Sorry, I know that you apologized for it being so long, but I'm just going to read some pieces. Compared to that, the previous episodes where Subaru is quite heroic, during episodes 12 and 13 we're given something very different. The things that trouble Subaru are petty, self-indulgent, and meaningless. He misinterprets Julius's chivalry as flirting. He sees himself as the savior meant to get the pretty girl out of trouble. He can't understand how Amelia could possibly be okay if he isn't there keeping an eye on her. Which, to be fair, if Returned by Death weren't a thing, this would make a lot of sense. Because Returned by Death is a thing, it makes a lot of sense for him to want to be around. Because at least he can gather information and then die. Right? And reset. So I'm actually going to hold off on full agreeing with that, although psychologically that is still a problem that's there. He sees his promise to her as secondary to his own desire to protect the girl with a spirit that can seemingly destroy the world if he pleases, and so with complete disregard as to how his actions may affect what is clearly an incredibly important meeting, he shatters the first of his promises and follows Amelia. Then, after witnessing Amelia valiantly advocating for herself, he places no trust in her ability to handle the situation and begins to speak for her. He then ignores her pleas to be quiet, insults an entire chamber full of knights, spits on Julius' attempt to make him see his arrogance even after Julius was able to set aside the lesson he was cooking long enough to acknowledge the genuine nature of Subaru's feelings toward Amelia, and makes a fool of himself and Amelia's entire goal. Only to then accept Julius' challenge, immediately resort to underhanded tactics, shaming himself even further, and even breaks promise number 2 using magic once again. Not for any grand significance, but simply because he doesn't like Julius, which is apparently more important than either of the promises he's made to Amelia. Yeah, he goes straight off the rails emotionally. And we could argue about Amelia's role in all of it. Maybe she should have told him what was happening at the meeting. Maybe she should have let him come along. Maybe she should have been honest about why she didn't want him along. Maybe she should have done 1,000 other things different, but the thing is she shouldn't have to. Because regardless of how we as viewers or Subaru as the protagonist feels about it, it's none of his goddamn business. And the only thing he should have done was stay out of it. In this episode, and more specifically the last minutes of it, I see a big diversion in people's reactions and opinions. Some legitimately hating Subaru, some saying Amelia is being unreasonable, some sympathizing with his struggle, and some seeing this episode as evidence of Amelia being undeserving of Subaru's affection. But here's the thing. The bedside scene physically hurt me the first time I saw it because I saw myself in Subaru. I've been the one to give too much when nothing was asked of me, and then expect my unwanted intervention to be seen the way I saw it. And Amelia's line, "The version of me that lives within you must be amazing," I've had someone say that almost verbatim to me when I was younger. And in retrospect, I hate that version of myself, because all I was doing was giving those around me the treatment that I wished I could receive, expecting them to understand those desires without voicing them, then becoming petulant and self-centered when my expectations were not met. But I had no right to place my expectations on the shoulders of those around me, and neither does Subaru. And from that unfortunately deeply personal perspective, I think Subaru can be more accurately understood. What we saw in him in episode 13 was not courage, was not bravery, was not righteousness. It was jealousy, narcissism, greed, arrogance. Nothing that he did came from a desire to do the right thing, only the need to sate his desires. And when the results of his actions are piled up before him, absent is any of the courage of episode 9. Instead, he places the burden on Amelia's shoulders. Not, I wanted to do this. Instead, the very different, I did this for you. And when that doesn't work, he spits in her face all the things he feels he's done to deserve her, as if saying, I saved your life, now you belong to me. This is perhaps the most honest version of Subaru we've seen, and also the ugliest. Not courageous, but simply pathetically human. Scared, hurt, uncertain, flawed. I love the line, nothing that he did came from a desire to do the right thing, only the need to sate his desires. So, an emotional spiral, downward and outward and away from everyone that he wants to be near. Brutal. I'm going to do a drawing. Yeah, kind of like that. Kind of like that. Gone vertical for today. He's got bigger eyes than I do because he's an anime character, though. Got 2 lines there. I know everybody knows crinkles differently, but I'm gonna just use myself as a as the reference here. Huh? That's funny. I don't forehead crinkle when I nose crinkle, but Subaru does. I actually can't. I have to do this to get my forehead to crinkle a little. I guess my forehead skin is tight. Cool. Weird. But Subaru's all forehead crinkled up. I do have the image of Subaru's face as well up here. That's it. I don't even want to draw the face out, like the form. Just disconnected rage. Indignance. The face of someone who feels like they've been wronged. Alright, here we go. Episode 14 is ready to rock and roll. There will be 2 versions, picture-in-picture in the description, timer on the YouTube, beep-beep timer to count you down, early access on the Patreon. Let's count down. Still holding it. Orega. Oreni. Great visual representation of fighting against something that you can't beat. Tearing yourself apart. So where are we? We're staying with, with Felix, right? To get cured? Going out of the way to play the villain. Ooh! Trying to protect a guy like that. +1 Julius. Hi, Cruz. Excuses to avoid. Doing just fine here. Nothing is wrong. Everything's fine. Oh, hi, Reinhard. Okay. What? Is this a new OP? Weird witch stuff? We got a new OP! What? The circling vultures. So that's our starting point for now. Cool, good! Good! Yay! That means thematically we've had a big switch. Which is right. Past each other. Oh! Woo! The face change. That's brutal. This is great. Trudging forward angry. Rem following behind. Working hard. Ooh! Guy with too much mouth. That was a big monster. Oh, we're rewinding through it again. Whoa, okay. We now have the hands of the thing reaching for her and him. Wow. Okay. That had a lot to it. Hmm. Hmm. A little bit of indignance toward it. It wasn't meaningless. I had to do it. Some people don't want to be helped. Damn. He also locked Rem out. Hey, Subaru? We're gonna get the door open? That's great. Oh, she came back in. So he's training in order to I'm doing well, but also for his own pride. Aw, she's trying too hard. Oh, Rem. A little bit. Yeah! Good! She said it. Hmm. Better answer than because you saved me, right? It's a really good answer. It isn't anything you've done to deserve it. Aw, familiar place. Oh. What's up, Appa guy? She's selling the. I didn't get it. Oh my gosh. Man, people really don't like half elves. Relative of the witch? That's what I'm talking about, buddy. Find out information. Explore. Here he is doing it again. He's doing it again. Okay, that's better. Yeah, we don't know anything about this shit, so find out the information, Subaru. One who's in love. Like that guy. Or that guy. Damn. So does that help you understand how she feels? Ooh, this is dark. We got no movement. We're just stuck. Hi, nice dress. Yeah, that's why I commented. Can we maybe get some insights from a serious lady who's got some serious business? Why not? That was like 2 fingers of whiskey just gone. Kursad. M'lady. Gathering people and objects? Yeah, that tracks. Are you getting hit on, Subaru? Crucia. She blushing. She glowing. Caught! Spotted! Except one. Yeah, with a lot of masks on. Open book, pile of masks. Keep your head up. I love it. I love it. Crucia. That's cool. Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna do that. You think some Dogeza will work? Something that's actually for her? He's thinking about self-death, and don't do that. Don't do that. I hope that's not the conclusion he just came to. Weather looks great. Ooh, he stood. He's got his head up. He can see a future. That's so good. I want him to learn from this. I don't want him to be able to reset. I don't get it. Yeah, I don't know either. Uh-oh. Nope. You're limited, yeah. Okay, a threat. Troubling movement? Which stuff? Which stuff? Of course they're gonna make a move. Oh, is it just prejudiced townspeople? Oh, that's... Never mind, that's worse. Hmm. Is me. And he smiles. Darker. Fuck, shit, fuck. Oh, his voice is so good at that. No, I have to go protect. But she'll fold as soon as he pushes. And she folds. By Roswell. Oh, by Amelia. Enemies. You just got offered an olive branch and you spit on it, man. Stupid. Stupid. Let him do it. Let him do what he'll do. And there he goes. Yep. Uh-oh. What is this background sound? Wow. That went as bad as it could have. A fog over the road. Oh. Oh, that's what we saw. Moby Dick? Are you Captain Ahab? Wilhelm? Are you Captain Ahab? Uh-uh. Damn. Hmm. We really shouldn't be doing this. I feel like it will work out. Yeah. God, he's just gone further. So bad. And Rem doesn't know what to do. She can see it, but she can't help. Shit. No, she doesn't, man. No, she doesn't have to. Those are gorgeous. We can't ride through the night, man. Yeah. What's up? Romance. We Mushoku now. She's really worried about you, man. And I'll fix things. Ah. Oh. Oh. Oh, I feel like that might not have been the right thing to say. Oh god, fuck it. Continuing the healing. That's all it is. And if you get the chance. Oh man, she really believes. Oh man, don't feed the fire. No, don't feed the fire. No, 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 no. Good night, buddy. Did she leave without him? Yeah, she left without him. She put him to sleep and left without him. Try to protect him. So now another betrayal. Yep. So he's gonna go chasing after her. Everyone is turning against me. Can't trust anyone. Oh, we saw that guy in the thing! We are gonna travel with that person. Hi, Otto. Not a chance. So now... you made a mistake taking this job. Ah, fuck. We've made it! Going on foot. Oh, he knows the village. No, once he gets to the village, he'll be fine. Thanks, Otto. Oh shit, that's probably stupid. That's probably stupid, man. Oh no. Oh no. We're gonna get killed in this forest, man. Hi. Hello. Oh, hi, hello. Good. Knives? Oh. Okay. Fuck that. Turn the other way, man. Oh, shit. But the chance that Rem's in danger, dude. How did... I guess night passed as he was running? Okay. Oh no. Oh no, we're gonna do a no ED with music. Oh no. Everybody in the village is dead? Oh. Body at the door. Knives of the people. Oh shit, blood everywhere. Not the kids. The kids. Smoking corpses. That. Both of them. From your Rem. The sickness called despair. Yo, is that wake up at Appa cell? I gotta go back. I can't. I fully can't. Ow. This is bad. Oh man, we just doubled down on everything that happened in the last episode and makes it worse. Like doubly worse. But then it doesn't matter. It's not like he could have stopped this. Except by return by death. Oh shit. Man, what a ton of stuff in this episode. Points to Julius. New OP. New OP is cool. I want to skim it. The birds and the sunset hues are like Cult of the Witch. Read immediately. Down deep at the bottom of the ocean, unable to breathe is like right on. Reminds me of some of the symbolism in Sangatsu. Sangatsu no Lion. There's a lot of imagery of someone deep underwater or falling underwater or being sucked down by a current. Here, it's worse in some ways. He's got those dead eyes and he's just laying there. These memories flashing through. We just pan up to the sky and bring in the title and the light comes through, but he doesn't emerge from that space. This hurts. This is so cool. This second OP is really, it's delineated. It's delineating another piece of story. Here, you know, if the first portion was Subaru and Amelia coming to each other and Subaru finding everyone, this right here, they cross past each other and her face is filled with what seems like regret and his with, well, it's despair is what it is. I've got a book for this. Shout out to Ed from Psyculturists, another reaction channel. He's a psychologist who does anime reactions as well. He does them in a different format than I do. He does them as like Twitch streams. Imitate the facial movements of sadness. Drop your mouth open. Pull the corners of your lips down. Try to raise your cheeks as if you are squinting. This pulls against the lip corners. Maintain this tension. Let your eyes look downward and your upper eyelids droop. Yeah, that's what Subaru looks like. Right there. Despair or grief. See the eyebrows together? And then here at the bottom in the center is the author's daughter representing the same emotional facial expression. Despair or grief. Helpless. Hopeless. That's what Subaru looks like here to me. So we have Amelia outside the room, standing against the wall, with the crows flying by, and then inside Subaru's stuck. They're divided by this boundary, and he's still in that same place, having said those same things, stuck. Shit. This moment of him, like, trudging forward with Rem behind, she's just doting and blank-faced, and he's determined but pissed and indignant and like, somebody has wronged me. And there's that contrast, that soft smile into his desperation and uncertainty, and you want to start over, don't you? Yeah, he wants to start over, man. Snap through some characters, some cuteness, Amelia working hard and thinking. I becomes Guy becomes Arms. Okay, so he's the arm guy. That's the dragon that they took, the land dragon. That's the fucking white whale. It flies through the fog? I love it. I think it's cool. I can't wait to see Crucia go up against it. Rem and Subaru together. Fighting, and then we spin back through. Until this moment where all the hands are reaching forward. And it's fascinating because they're the witch hands. They're like the same as his Return by Death hand. Wild. Reinhardt tries to do a noble and reasonable thing. But when he says that duel has no meaning, he's lost him. His eyes narrow. No meaning? What are you saying? You saying my attempts at... Subaru's... I don't know, he's deeply unreasonable. This is rough to watch, guys. I can see people turning against this character here. Even if they didn't in the previous episode, the way he doubles down so hard and pushes everybody away, ignores all of the advice he receives, it can't see anyone's attempts to assist him or help him. He sees them all as like against him, truly against him. It's almost to the point of paranoid delusions. Almost. It's just a twist on everything. Enough of a spin, enough of a filter to everything that it comes through as dark and against him and mean. And he responds in kind. He's mean and snippy to people who are trying to assist him. There's I know this is dumb to do, but there's a line in Aesop Rock's One of Four, which is a song about a psychic break that he had. Oh no, it's in Gover Guts. Aesop's line is, I have been completely unable to maintain any semblance of relationship on any level. I have been a bastard to the people who have actively attempted to deliver me from peril. I have been acutely undeserving of the ear that listened up and lip that kissed me on the temple. I have been accustomed to a stubborn disposition that admits it wish its history disassembled. A bastard to the people who have actively attempted to deliver me from peril is a line that has always stuck with me since hearing this, because it's fucking terribly easy to do. And then you look back and you realize that the people around you were trying to, and the way he puts it, to deliver me from peril, and I turned and spat at them. And that feels to me like what Subaru is doing. He can't see it. He can't see it even in the people who are closest to him, even in Rem. Mind your own damn business. His fights against Wilhelm serve to punctuate the episode in a really cool way. They, to me, read as bashing himself against a wall, self-flagellating. But it cues into that thing that Krusha and Ferris say, that is like, he's just trying to pretend that he's, working and moving and doing something. It keeps him from thinking about what he's actually done wrong. Good work today. She says she wants to stay because she wants to. That's potent, and he can't hear it still, right? He still can't really hear it. So we go out on the town and almost cause another ruckus. Rem is way too much of a pushover. That's true. Find out a little bit of information, and so this is, again, the sort of thing. Find out a little bit of information about the witch and Amelia's circumstances, and immediately takes a defensive stance. You guys don't know anything. No, you don't know anything, Subaru. Maybe if you just talk to these people, you could figure out what was really going on. Like, who was the witch? And what happened? And how bad was it? And why a half-elf? Why is that so important? All this shit. No, instead, he can't listen. He has to speak. And everyone turns on him. And he's the one causing it to get worked up and fucked up. Now, one thing that is good to hear, as long as everyone is still seeing her that way, she's doomed to failure. That's really interesting information. Like, what would be the most powerful thing that you could try to do for Amelia in her succession attempt? I don't know. Maybe do some propaganda. Try to convince people that not all half-elves are bad. That would be a good start. No. Thinks about himself. How he can get back in. How he can get stronger and overcome the things that have hurt him before. And we run into sexy Krush. She's cute. And, cute. Yow. But more importantly, really fucking cool. Like, chick drinks hard, is dope, offers good advice, is curious and interesting. I think Krush is great. Plus, I've received proposals every day. Does that bother you? Oh, it's just deflect. I like this. I like this a lot because it fills two roles as a shot. It shows us that Krush is glowing, right? And that's attractive. Flushed features are immediately sexualized. It's impossible not to be. But it's also a very keen gaze that she's using. Very direct, very perceptive, very much looking through him. I'm almost surprised she didn't push him to drink so that she could extract more information. But maybe she doesn't think that there's much to gain from doing so. I don't know. Either way, I like the shot. Men are nothing but wolves. Not worried, I know who he loves. And when called out on having a fight, he looks down, and she says my favorite line in the episode, don't cast your gaze down. When your eyes are clouded, your soul darkens, which has multiple meanings here, I think. When your soul darkens, your future is closed to you and you lose sight of your reasons to live. Man, if that isn't the truest fucking shit. If that isn't the truest fucking shit, I know exactly what that feels like. I know exactly what it feels like. To put it as your eyes down and you can't see what's ahead of you is perfection. That's just right. I know exactly what it feels like. Eyes on the ground, dread, worthlessness, incompetence, all these feelings towards self. Well, what is it when we cast our eyes down? We don't look up. We don't make eye contact. Shame, almost always, right? It's back to that 1-year-old object permanence thing. Like, if I can't see them, they can't see me. If they can't see my eyes, they won't see into me. They won't see who I really am, how it's really going. And even if it's alone, it still works the same way. Don't let the world come in. Let me stay here. Actively prevents you from moving forward, from even seeing a route out of the darkness. Hey, we can extend it to a long-standing metaphor on the channel. If you're down in the pit, down is the last place you need to be looking. You won't learn anything from doing that. You won't figure out how you got there. You won't figure out how to get out. You won't figure out how to survive. You'll just stay. You have to at least look forward at the walls, and better yet, you've got to look up. Works for me. Works for me. Don't look down when you're at the bottom of the pit. Beautiful from Crucia. When you do what you know to be right, what can you do by looking downward? I do not want to regard you as an insignificant enemy. I like that too. I'd rather you were significant. Okay, hurry up and make up with Amelia-san. How? I don't know. How can I? There is something I can do. Something only I can do. And it's exactly the wrong idea, right? A little bit of improvement physically. We'll see if that comes into play when we have to deal with a bunch of murderers. I don't know. I can make any problem disappear. Yeah, what about things that aren't disappearable? Or what about if you wake up moments after, like, what if your next save point is moments after getting shit on? Right? Back to square one. Oh no. I don't get this. Meant to strengthen a man, to teach it to one who has decided to forsake strength would defeat the purpose. I don't get it. Is there a different translation? Do I have a different translation? On the DDY? Meant to strengthen a man. No, it's identical. Okay. And we're interrupted by a sixth sense from Rem. Something wrong. Something going on at the mansion. And their assumption is that it's normies, normal people going. Immediately, Subaru goes back. He hasn't made any progress, but he's right back in it. This is my fault. I left her side and this happened. Something that happened far away from you, right? Like, not near her either. Everyone else is an enemy. The only one who can take her side, and he smiles. And there's our problem, y'all. There it is. Oh, thank goodness. There is something only I can do. Ah. Good, I thought I was worthless. But as long as she's in trouble, I can be the hero. And then it comes to a head. I love the subtle changes to Subaru's facial expressions. His eyes are wide but blank. There's emotion here, right? There's subtlety and a little sparkle to his eye here, but then immediately after this, they're like blank to me. It's amazing how he can be smiling and more sharp-featured, more up, and be empty. Have you ever seen somebody go a little bit manic like that? I've seen myself do it, to be honest. I've seen myself do it. I've seen myself become fervored. That's what's here. It's like a fervor in the face of the end. That's where I've been like that. It was like everything around me collapsed. Lost my work. Didn't know where I was going to stay. Had no idea what I was going to do. And got overcome with this yeah, everything's going to be great. Looking back on it, like a clear, depressed manic episode caused by extreme circumstances. Very bad time. That's what I see here. We have to go and help. No, please, obey your orders. And Rem is ineffectual in trying to get him to stay. You have to heal, and you have to stay, please. But of course, she folds immediately. Okay, so Amelia is back at the mansion. I did not understand. My bad. And drops the hammer. You leave, we're enemies. Not doing this for fun. Not doing this because I wanted to. We have a contract. And what does this do for him? He doesn't take it as a warning. He doesn't take it as a gesture of good faith. He takes it as a betrayal. Ah, you're also against Amelia. I thought we could be friends. You were just fucking with me. I guess it was just a joke, telling me to do what I could. And and even more than that, you're trying to actively sabotage us by preventing me from going and saving Amelia. Ferris is like, oh, whoa, buddy. Nothing will change. You can't do anything. You're useless. You're powerless. Stay and get healed. And that's going to push him right away. Right away. Thanks for your advice, motherfuckers. Ooh, I gotta mention the growing darkness of the sound design here. Cut. That's spicy. That's spicy. Subaru, all throughout, his voice actor is great. From indignance to despair, he rides this line and swooshes between states in really a brutal way. We cannot go that way. The white whale is there. We would not survive. He's pissed about it. He's like, fuck, yeah. So this is just shitty, right? It even looks shitty. Like sitting in the chauffeur seat, letting the maid drive the carriage. It's like skeezy. Ugh. She worries, but she doesn't know what to do. She needs me by her side. I'm the only one who can save her. And once I do, I'm sure she'll understand. She has to. If only I do another thing that wasn't asked for, then I'll be worshipped and loved. It's deeply transactional too, isn't it? Because I wanted to. Those have been the most powerful moments. When Subaru did and now when Rem does. Because I wanted to. Not out of some debt or transaction. And Subaru's right back to a transaction. Me rescuing Amelia will mean equals she will understand me. I trade X for Y. I do this for you, you give me your undying affection, right? Wrong. There are a couple of lovely traveling shots. Both of these. Really gorgeous. This one in particular. Really gorgeous. Smart girl. But foolish too. We'll get right back and I'll fix things. Yes, I have put all my faith in you. And she's lying, huh? Too easy. This is sweet. You are a wonderful person after all. He takes it. God fucking damn it, man. You're not supposed to be like, yeah, I am wonderful. I'm great. She's hopeless without me. This is hard. Because Rem's feelings for Subaru are becoming more clear, and she seems to have resigned herself to a position of never being seen, like never having those feelings reciprocated. Like, she just seems to have relegated herself to second fiddle off the bat, and it's sucks. Sucks. So he feels like everyone has betrayed him, even Rem. How could she? She thinks I'm useless too. No one trusts me. Then I have no one to depend on. I'll go it alone. And going it alone takes him to the deepest tragedy we've had so far. Easily. The whole village. I think the scene is very well done. Becomes immediately obvious to us, but he's like in a haze daze. It's like, I haven't seen a depiction of brutality like this since book 1 of the Lightbringer saga. Which is an interesting set of books. I would tentatively recommend reading them if you like weird fantasy or like Sanderson type novels. They're a little darker and a little scummier, a little grittier in a weird way, but not in a way that's like necessarily fun, kind of like cartoon violence almost, or shock value. There are things about the Lightbringer saga that I don't love. There are also pieces of that story that I think are extraordinary. There's a scene, it's one of the first scenes in the book. There's a scene where a group of soldiers go and destroy a village, the village where the protagonist lives, in order to make a point. And it's on this order of brutality. Men, women, children, all that jazz. And worse, the pile of smoking corpses here is made into a truly shocking display. A great pyramid forged out of magic, I'll say, and body parts, skulls piled on top of each other, preserved essentially eternally in the center of the town. To say, like, this is what happens. This is what happens if you slight the king. The thing is, they didn't even slight him. There wasn't a reason to do what was done. It's just cruelty. That's what this feels like, too. Who are the enemies of the witch? Probably the people in the manor. Does this village have anything to do with it? No. So we learn a lot from this. We've seen the members of the cult show up places before and cause destruction, Rem and Ram's village. But for no reason, just to cause destruction and death and bloodshed. There's real evil in this world, Subaru. A darkness that absolutely eclipses all of your petty concerns. You're trying to play a social eroge, and we're in an action horror drama. Oh boy! So what can we say about Subaru over the course of this episode? I think he learns nothing. And I don't, that's not a mark against him, really, in a lot of ways. There isn't, none of the things that happen are enough to snap him out of it. The advice from Krusha, Rem's half-hearted attempts to stop him, and then going behind his back. None of it's like enough. I think that Krusha's talk with him on the balcony could have been, if he'd come up with a reason or a way. It was the attitude change that was necessary at the start, but it didn't evolve into anything, in part because it was interrupted. You know, or like the next thing that happened was finding out about the problems in the village, or in the... Fuck! What a different face. Indignant rage. Pure horror. And, well, maybe helplessness? How can Subaru become unhelpless here? Honestly, you know what? By healing his gate and figuring out how to magic. That would be the way, wouldn't it? It reminds me of... So Subaru enters the manor and finds Rem dead. And flashing through his mind are the last things she said. From your Rem. Sick indeed. Ow, 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 ow. Well, I thought about ending it here, but I can't. I gotta do another. I gotta see what's going on in the mansion. I have to know. So, episode 15. Everything's gone wrong. Everything has gone wrong. Beep beep timer. Looks like she got a lot done. Ooh, baby, it's all the kids. Can't make this disappear. There's no one. She tried to protect one of them. Amelia's pin. Or Petra's. Amelia. Oh, the library? Cold? Puck? Oh, shit. Well, we're gonna die. Good. Frozen solid. Oh, and so are you. Who said that? Are we all the... Are we all the... No, okay, we're on this day. Okay, we're on the day that we visited here. So we're post Amelia fucked. Ugh. Okay, we can solve this. We have to solve the internal stuff first, though. No PDA! Yeah, full lost it. Good. Reasonable. Yeah, an instant change in character. Ooh, smell? Formidable enemies. Okay, we are. So maybe seeing them. Hmm. Hmm. I think you got villains. What's up with that? True, but... So we'll be there for the attack. And we're leaving way earlier before the interference happened. Oh. Cute. Mm-hmm. Ooh, are we going on the road where there hasn't been a fog yet? There's the vibe. Oh! Wakey wakey! Time for not dying. Thanks, Rem. Oh. They didn't even react. They just all at once. That's weird. Oh, God. Yeah. Same people. Oh, that did not work well. Oh, they took him. Okay, okay, okay. Interesting. To steal my reason to die? What? Where will they take him? And what will he learn? This is great. This is really good. He's finally coming face to face with real shit. Oh, it's that guy. First envy? Gluttony? Might he be one of the 7? Please. A sin sloth. I kind of love him. Oh, great. Yeah, he's fully lost it. They're like completely featureless, and he's just so much. Yes! Yes. The ordeal? Ooh, it's coming. Is that a good thing, or are you gonna kill me? Oh. I'm overwhelmed. Oh, that's not good. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Ooh. The Gospel of the Witch? He's in the best state to piss this guy off. Oh no, oh no. No, please don't lick my eyeball. To withdraw. To avoid. Ooh. Ooh, far too sane. Trust me, I know what madness looks like. So much. This is so much. You gonna make us an offer? Ow. Rather waste away in stagnation than repay the goodwill? Someone here to rescue us? Holy shit, Rem. My girl. He's amazing. He's amazing. I believe in you, Rem. I really hope you can. This dude fucking sees through everything. In a cruel way. Why is he voguing? Why is he voguing all the time? Oh my god! Shit. Subaru. Wakey wakey. Oh no. Cut down. Yeah. What the fuck was that? Oh, he can cast big bees? Oh no. He's got him there. He spoke. He's awake. Yeah, the rage was enough. Fingers. Hands. Is he just gonna leave him with Rem's body? Please kill him. Damn it. I wonder what that gospel is. Bite your tongue off. I like this guy. He reminds me of Drosselmeyer, of all characters. We in it, baby! Alright, Subaru, bite your tongue off. Seriously. No joke. No, don't slow die from starvation, dude, or dehydration. Way worse. Oh, maybe you could bash your head into the ground hard enough to kill yourself. Movement? Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Ugh. 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 Rip his arms off. Go, buddy. Oh, he got her. Let's go. Oh, magic. The best way to follow that command is to die. Ah. Believer in love. Her feelings finally reached him. But he's awake. So he's going to go and face it all again. Now you've got an enemy. And a love. And a reason. Rem being here changed little. Wait, are the kids inside? What? 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 Along with my daughter. Is that referring to the sisters? And that's, or is that referring to, maybe it's referring to Amelia. I have no idea. It's like feline? What the fuck? Until snow covers all. I'm really glad I watched this episode too. There are still 2 minutes left. And we re-wake. Yeah, but not blank. Don't be blanked out, man. You got reasons to be. Couple. Motherfucker! We'll move over here and then I'll say it. Damn it, say it. Say it, motherfucker. Say it. You returned. Okay, he'll just brush over it. I guess he can't tell her. So now he's gonna hide it all away and become the hero that everyone needs. Alright. That was a trip. That was a trip, guys, folks, friends, homies. That was a trip. Oh, it's pretty perfect. Maximum iconic horror. How bad can things get? No idea. And finally, we find malice in this world. Finally. It's not just a beast or a monster rampaging or getting caught up in someone else's struggle. It's malice. It's cruelty, it's sin, it's evil incarnate. And we've given it a face and a name. That's what we needed. Empty, mad, insane. But not broken, not really. Withdrawn, hiding. The choice of no OP, no AD is hellish. It just means that this whole episode is one brick of content. And I think it's a really good choice. Because it forces you to take it all in all at once. And there really isn't time to distance yourself from it, with one exception, and that's how humorous Betelgeuse is. I think that's the only thing that allows this episode to be watchable for me, is that there's this oscillation into hilarity. Otherwise, it would be too dark, too much, all the time. That's the intent, right? The intent is for us to walk through a gallery of true horrors and come face to face with the ending of all things that we care about. Hell, the first half of this episode is like just nothing. Just silence and terrible scenes. And then awakening, fully shell-shocked, unable to speak or think or be, mad and withdrawn, and reeking of the witch's miasma. How can you devote yourself so much? Those glances that you cast are a little bit more. She says it's because he's special. In her eyes, at least. And they're both stunned by it. It's really cute. Her belief in him is wholehearted. A little happy to keep you to myself. I'm sorry. All of these apologies. And I know you will be alright because you're always demoniacally possessed. Capable of pushing through it and acting insane. God, it moves so quickly. This chunk of the episode moves so quickly to get us to where we need to go. Bam, boom. Rem to save. It's not enough. There's something about the way that these fingers, now that we know that they're called fingers, the way that they move that's really striking to me. They don't. They don't. They're completely nonchalant. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they're all automata or, like, mannequins under these things. Probably not, but it gives this feeling of, like, faceless, nameless, soulless cultists that I think is really great. With the exception of one who, in dramatic juxtaposition to the others, is absolutely off his rocker bonkers. And with it, my reason to live. Oh, when they stole the sister's horn. So now you've come here to steal my reason to die, too. I don't completely get it. She's calling Subaru her reason to die? I don't completely get it. This fascinates me. You wouldn't happen to be Pride, would you? He's looking for other members of the Chosen Ones, whatever the fuck they are. And we've seen, in the OP at least, that he has the power to manifest a bunch of witch hands, right? He is Sloth. So, the Witch of Envy was the first, or the one who rose above them all? But there are probably 7. Pride is probably missing, and honestly could be Subaru, right? Could be. These could all be individuals who are touched by or tainted by the witch. Curious. I wonder what's in that gospel. I wonder if it has information that would change our mind about things. He wonders at him possibly being Pride. He reminds me of Drosselmeyer. Drosselmeyer is a character in Princess Tutu, who's named after Drosselmeyer, the creator of the Nutcracker in the Nutcracker, the Tinkerer. Drosselmeyer in Princess Tutu is a third-party, omniscient, omnipotent style character who has near full control over the stories that we exist in within the thing, because he's their actual author, and he emerges in them in very strange ways, in ways that are physically impossible, and nonsensical, that only an author could do. Just the visual aspect of Beetlejuice is what reminds me of that. But also the knowing more than you do and mocking you for it. Mocking you for everything that you do. This sense of untouchability, like there's no fear in Beetlejuice. Or Betelgeuse. I'm gonna call him Beetlejuice. I just am. And he's got an insane set of physical features, like monk-style hair, the top thing gross. He snaps between modes where he's very prim and proper and then absolutely chaotic and then snaps back to it. It's a really fascinating bit of characterization. Animation-wise, movement-wise, it's just all deeply planned out, and I love it. I love it. I mean, he's hateable. He's evil and monstrous and awful in every possible way. But he's so funny. He's so fucking funny. It's like he's always trying to jump scare you or creep you out, or I don't know. A Sin Archbishop in the witch cult. Betelgeuse Romane Conti. Hell of a name, hell of a face, too much mouth. Let's stop for a second. We'll find out who this voice actor is. Yoshitsugu Matsuoka. I haven't seen that guy. Who are you? Who are you? He's Kirito. He's Yukihiro Soma. He's Vash the Stampede. He's Sora in No Game No Life. He's so many fucking people. He's Inosuke. He's Bel Cranel. He's Arata Kasuga. I don't know who that is. Petelgeuse. Oh, it's spelled Petelgeuse. Interesting. Main guy in Quintuplets. Teruki Hanazawa in Mob Psycho. God, he's fucking everyone, and none of them sound like this guy. Fucking everybody, and none of them sound like this guy. Cool. What an insane character. That's Kirito. What? He gets wrapped up in his own definitions of sloth a couple of times, like, something about this is terrible and fucked up, but I guess it's sloth, so it might be good. But then sometimes sloth is the thing that he kills you for, so it's unclear. Like, he doesn't seem particularly slothful himself, and he kills a couple people for being slothful. So when I think of an archbishop of sin, I think of a character that embodies the sin that they represent, in the sort of way that we would imagine devils in a D&D fantasy world being the embodiments, like pure embodiments of whatever their layer of hell is, right? If you're the devil of lies and betrayal, you can be a liar and you're going to betray people. If you're the devil of lust, you're going to be real sexy, right? Like, those things just make sense. He doesn't seem very slothful, and he kills some people for being slothful. So I don't know, maybe it's just chaos. Maybe it doesn't make any sense, and it's just whatever he wants to do, which would make a lot of sense. Sliding into frame to speak to characters, like, gosh, there are so many little visual gags that he goes over the top of. He does let us know about the forthcoming ordeal. Love, we must repay love with love. We must repay love with love. I'm not going to spend too much time trying to, like, finagle out deep meanings in what Beetlejuice says, because he seems insane, but I will try to keep it in mind. Why does such dense love hang abundant upon your person? Weird question. Is he talking about the love that other people have for him, or is he talking about the touch of the witch? I don't know. I want to know what's in that gospel, though. I think it would be very good reading. And yet. What a cool turn. You're not really broken. You're acting. And this coming from a true madman, it seems. You wouldn't care about the gazes of others. And so I pity you, and yet you are loved. You'd rather waste away in stagnation than repay the goodwill shown to you. Damn, man. I guess that's good advice. I think that this feels like good advice. Stop doing this thing. Work to repay. It does hit a transactional level that maybe doesn't work. But he's enamored of the passions of others. Like, he seems thrilled to have Rem here and so angry. One little smile as he looks up and then ends her without remorse, with very little power expended, and reveals that probably each of them has some grand power that is an authority. This is your fault. You did nothing. And so it led to this. As rough as can be, as utterly brutal as can be, and it wakes Subaru up. I think a rage is better than nothing. God, that face is so... Oh. I am sure you will be saved, should you find the gospel. So she drags herself across the room to free him from his shackles, and to tell him that she loves him. And upon approaching the mansion, it explodes upward in an enormous cat-like monster, who in a female voice tells him to sleep along with her daughter. And then we spend a minute and a half fading out into a blizzard of whiteness before reawakening at the same day with another chance. True horror in a few ways. And now mysteries galore. I am fascinated by the outcome of this episode. It does more to open the world up to us than previously. Face to face with the cult of the witch, right up against the wall with Amelia and Rem, struggling and causing problems with Krusha and Ferris and all the rest. But we've reset to a point where things are probably salvageable, some of them. How? I don't know. Because if we just go alone, Rem and Subaru, they die again and again here, right? It doesn't end differently. Feel like we need allies. Maybe Krusha? Ferris? Either way, now that we've got our setup, our loop, our timeline, our circumstance, and our characters, there are opportunities. He could right a lot of the wrongs that he's done. If he takes a different tack toward Reinhard, considers maybe talking to Julius, communicates more effectively with Ferris and Krusha, thinks before he acts, maybe. Whoa. That was hard to watch. I am very grateful that you've watched it with me. So thank you very much for joining me on these pretty hellish episodes of ReZero. That was a lot. This whole section, 4 episodes deep, of Subaru shooting himself in the foot socially, and then romantically, and then everything collapsing in umpteen ways immediately after. This was hard. I'm really curious to see what people will hit me with in the comments, because I think that the circumstances here are a bit more straightforward than they were when Subaru made his first mistakes, or however you want to see them. There was much more room for differing opinions there. Here I feel like our opinions will converge once more. But to where? And what do we do next? I don't know. And I don't know if I can, like Rem, put my full faith in Subaru. But he's surprised me many times before. And there's, I think, very little that can cause a person to change than seeing and experiencing genuine horror like that. In some ways, it's almost like Betelgeuse is like, oh, you're broken now? You're broken now? You haven't seen anything yet. Let me show you. Let me show you. And in doing so, instead of really breaking Subaru, just awakened him to the possibilities that are really out there. It's been like that before. Hubris gets knocked down and Subaru rises to the challenge, the real challenge in front of him, in a meaningful way. First, he bites off way more than he can chew, gets knocked on his ass, and figures out a way to come back. So I hope that he does here. What it will be, I don't know. But if we follow our arc structure, it should be something that indicates genuine growth from the state that got us here, from the place that got us here. The self-centered protagonist mentality that caused him to screw up the royal meeting and the conversation with Amelia. If we can address that core of Subaru's personality here, then I think he can come out of it. After all, that's the story that we're telling, is a story of personal growth. And in my life, periods of personal growth are very often preceded by great disasters. So, disaster. Disaster after disaster. And a wallowing and a falling, a failing, and a terrible state for Subaru. Now it's time to rebuild. I'll see you next week for more ReZero. Thanks so much for watching this week's episodes. Much love. Much love. Peace.